Okay, yes, Evan. So hopefully by now you have put your data into the environmental quality survey template and it's produced you a graph similar to this. And you start to begin describing and explaining what that shows. So here I can see that site 2 has a much higher total. So therefore I can make the conclusion that it's a more sustainable area than site 1. And if I go back to my data, I can see actually site 2 scored higher in every single category. Again, suggesting that that's a much more sustainable area. And by combining that with maybe my photos I've taken and some of my other data, and where it is, I can start to think about why that might be more specifically. And again, we've done the same thing for the traffic survey. You've hopefully put in all 3 road names, but again, you can see that here the third site had the lowest traffic count of only 10 cars. So therefore, we could make the conclusion that's the most sustainable site because the air pollution is likely to be lowest because there's the least number of cars. Okay, so now it comes over to you trying to make some of your own graphs and not just using these templates. And to do that, we need to be putting our data into this table here. So here we've got some questions, some of the 3 questions I've done. You've got a couple, and then you've got some extra ones as well here, which we can use. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in case there's any formatting issues, I'm going to just highlight all of that data. And I'm going to click on format, and I'm going to just scroll down to the bottom where it says clear formatting, and I'm going to click on that. Now that just means that there's no hidden gremlins, if you like, in the data that could potentially make things confusing. And I'm going to put the borders back in using this function here. So it goes back to being my table on 1. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new heading, average, to this, and I'm going to calculate the mean score, because all of these people hopefully are in a similar area. So that tells me the total for that area, not just the total for that person. So to do this, I'm going to press the equals button, and I'm going to type in the word average, and I'm going to open brackets. I'm going to select all of the data in that row, so that horizontal row, close the brackets, and then hit enter. And as if by Google magic, it does that for me. And I can do that for each cell. Now, a quicker way to do that, rather than have to type it out each time, if I just show you again, if I hover my mouse over this bottom right-hand corner where the square is, the cursor will change. I can then drag that down, and it copies that function into the other cells. If you have decimal places, you can use these buttons to round up or increase number of decimal places. I don't want any decimal places, so here I can see that okay, on average in this area in Honor Oak, 28% of the rubbish in the 4 households gets recycled. Okay, so that's less than a third, so I can make the claim that that's a conclusion. It's not very sustainable. But I could also see that 33%, which is exactly a third, 33% of the shopping is done in independent stores. So actually, I feel that's quite high. So I feel like they're doing quite well there. Likewise, I've done some extra questions here. How important is it to try and be sustainable? People in this area think it's very important, so that's a good sign. However, so 6 is kind of less than half. So here, people don't feel currently they are being sustainable enough. Okay, so now if I want to put that into some graphs, so I can copy them into my format, I can highlight the data. I'm not going to highlight the average at this point. I can click on insert. I can click on chart. And again, Google's going to do its magic and produce for me. There we go. A chart to show that. Okay. So here it's got person on the top, person 1, 2, 3, 4, and their scores. Now, that looks all right, but it could be better. So I think I'm going to, first of all, click on use column A as heading, as label. And I'm going to put click on this customize, and on the chart title, and I'm going to add into that the question: how many times per week do you usually travel by car in, go for typos on a road, because that's my area. And then I've just clicked on that use row 14 as headings, because then I can see that it's the different people's answers. Okay, and I'm quite happy with that. Okay, I need to sort out the typos here, but there we go. Okay, so I can now copy and paste that into my graph, and I can start explaining that, and then I can also talk about my average if I want to. So that's the first one, nice, straightforward. Second one, what percentage of your household waste gets recycled? So, okay, now this one is one where a pie chart is maybe more suitable, but I'm going to, again, highlight the data, click on insert, click on chart. So it's giving me the same sort of thing, but this time I'm going to click on the chart setup. I'm going to change column chart to pie chart. But you can see again here it hasn't worked. So what I need to do is I need to click on this button here. It says switch row and column. And I'm going to click on this use column A as a heading and use row 16 as labels. Okay, now I can again go back in and customize it. So I can click on the chart axis title, and I can again type in my question: percentage of household rubbish that gets recycled in Honor Oak. Okay, so I can see the 3 again. I can copy that into my chart, and I can then go on to explain that. Now, and we could do a similar sort of thing for these other data. When it comes to these questions about owning a pet, it's a little bit harder. So what we need to do here, and what I'm going to do here, is I'm actually going to slightly rearrange the question. So, do you own a pet? Yes or no? So again, I'll just copy and paste that out. So from my data, 3 people said they did, and 1 person said they didn't. Okay, so again, I can now highlight that, insert chart, and again, it's done a pie chart automatically for me, but if it hadn't, I could change it there. So again, more useful, I can sort of see the question. It doesn't say what the pet is, but again, that's something I could explain in my write-up, and there we have my pie chart for that question. So because by changing it into a number, I've just made it easier for me to plot. And again, I can do the same thing for do you compost food waste. Okay, so hopefully that's given you some ideas, and hopefully that's helpful. I look forward to seeing the products and what you come up with. If you have any questions, then please feel free to ask me. But the key is we use this insert and chart, and then we can kind of tweak it as we need to. Okay, as I say, good luck.